And you know what we know, folks? When a young black male in this country gets murdered, you know what I know? He won't get murdered, brother, by a white kid who doesn't like black people, man. It's not about racism. When a young Hispanic brother gets murdered, a young Latino brother gets murdered, he don't get murdered by an Anglo who doesn't like Latinos. It's not about racism. They don't get murdered by a cop who's trying to take vengeance on somebody. No, try this on the side, sir. And over 97% of the cases, 97% of the cases, when a young black male gets murdered in this country, he gets murdered by another young black male. Typically one he's known for the previous 3 or 4 years who he's probably called his friend. And about 98% of the cases when a young Latino male gets murdered, he gets murdered by another young Latino brother who he's known for the previous 3 or 4 years. Or in time out, with young Latino brothers, and about 86, 87% of the cases when a young Latino brother gets murdered in this country, it's usually gang related. But see, everybody wants to act like this gang thing is no big deal. And yet for young Hispanic brothers, in 87% of the murders, it's gang related. Come on, man, this isn't a joke, it's real life.
The dream for Hispanic, a hardcore Hispanic gang member is about doing work for the hood, representing the hood, and going to prison for the hood. That's their goal.
There are 5 environmental factors that affect how you guys grow up. And those 5 things are your family, your friends, the community, your school, and the media.
I think kids join gangs nowadays, and that may sound cliche, but it's for acceptance. I think kids look to gangs for family. Maybe they're not getting that at home. Mom and dad are busy, or mom and dad are separated. They don't have an older brother, or maybe their older brother has their own agenda.
I think that the best advice that I can give girls is that if you do join a gang, just like education will open doors for you, joining a gang is going to close doors for you.
It's all about mom, and that's what I want to explain to all these mothers. Kids get locked up, their friends ain't going to be there, children, only your parents.
We really need to invest in young people, and the other thing is that we really need to bring back young people into the circle, you know, of decision making, of community dialogue. I mean, we're talking at them, you know, and instead of talking at them, we need to be talking to them.
We spend more money on housing them in prisons rather than educating them and providing programs that can give them a salvation, you know. And obviously in our society, we look at these programs as luxury. We don't need them.
At times it's depressing, it's very depressing. I spent my 13th, 14th, 15th, 17th, and I get on my 18th birthday. I've been busted for Christmas. It's depressing because, like, you don't, like, you're so away from your family and they can only see you once a week. You only see you once a week now, and it's like, I don't know, it's frustrating. Like, you know, all there is letters. Yeah. And see, the frustrating part is, like, we don't get our letters right away. They have to go through a chain. I still have a lot of little cousins and stuff, you know. Yeah, we tell them because I have family over here too that are busted. They're on the other side, you know, and like we tell them all the time, don't do no drugs, you know. If you ever get into it, you know, please tell us. We could help you, you know.
But I do still get scared to this day. One of my kids will wind up dead, or they'll wind up killing some of themselves and wind up in prison all the time. He's still been in football, but what happened is he got shot in the head. So this last year, 12th grade varsity, he could not play football anymore. And the scouts that went to go look for him, to see him, which of course he wasn't on the field, because he had to have 2 years in order for his head to, how do you say, his head to heal. So there went that. So he went and hanged around with his friends and started doing his thing with his gang friend. It was, his friends would always show up. His friends would always go to the gym, look for him, and take him out. So the coaches would try to help me and follow him and look for him, and they were by his side and trying to make a career. You're good, you're good. You just, I mean, he has more trophies than this. He's got tons of medals, tons of everything. It's just so sad that they give up a beautiful career for gangs. I wish the children would go to school, earn education, and do something with your life and for your parents. because I'm gonna start crying. It is so painful. I mean, these kids don't know what they're gonna put. Your kids don't know what you're putting your parents through. Going to court and crying there, the judge looks at the child and says, "Look what you're doing to your parents." Look, and the kid will look, the child will look at you like, "We're sorry, Mom," whatever. And then they come out, and then they go do it again. And the parents, the ones that are crying, and it is so sad. It's so scary. I just wish all of you guys would just come to your senses and go to school, and please don't join the gangs, because it's nothing out there but just drugs and either getting killed or shot.
Just, wastes your money, wastes everything, wastes and spending no time with your family, just always leaving house. Like, I was never home. It's awful, and like, drugs are no good, I don't think, Well, everybody has like their own advice, but like, own opinion, but if you've been through it so many, like, you'll know. Like, there's girls in here, they'd be like, "Oh, I love drugs," but then they realize, "Oh my God, I got busted," and they cry every day. I'm away from my family. It's hard being away from family. It's just gonna bring you down. You're not gonna go to school. You're not, just all kinds of stuff. It's just bad. It's really bad. It's so addicting too. It's like, I wouldn't even get involved. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it.
I don't know, I got in a fight with a kid and his whole family came after me, so I didn't have a big family, so I joined the gang for a dumb reason. I needed protection. Not really protection, I just needed my friends to back me up. It sucks, it's not gonna get anybody anywhere, it's just, I thought it was gonna be cool, but eventually I got tired of it. Only one way out. You have to do it on your own, you can't just...
Once a young person, adult is in a gang, we do two things. We know we have to help suppress that gang activity when it's of criminal nature. At the same time, we want to offer people ways to exit and ways to make better choices about the rest of their lives.
The criminal justice system is not a social services system. It is a system that is designed to impose consequences, to impose judgment, and to be punitive in nature. And so tough law and order policies are part of it.
Give them three, these kids over here, give them a choice. They only have three choices to make in this area. They can be a gangster, they can be a drug dealer, they can be a drug user.
If you choose a lifestyle, like if you want to be a gang member, and you chose that lifestyle and you know that it's negative and it's going to lead you in a negative direction, then that's on you. But I mean, I grew up in a household where both my brothers were gang members. Both my brothers did time in prison. I mean, I grew up in a really rough neighborhood, and I mean, I chose to stay away from it. I mean, that was my conscious decision. I knew that if I made a decision to stay away from it, that I could possibly have a better life.
So I think it's a matter of choice, and I think for some kids that choice is easier than others. But when it comes to gangs, that choice is so important because I think so many kids look at the impact of their life right now and maybe tomorrow, but they don't look beyond that. And unfortunately, that decision or that choice to join a gang sometimes is a permanent, whether it was intended to be at the time, it becomes a permanent choice.
Well, big reason is I didn't want to get in trouble, obviously, but besides that, I was always into music, I had a lot of friends, growing up, 6th, 8th grade in the band. High school, went into the marching band. I had the gangster friends, the thug friends and whatnot, and I had a chance to really get to see how much trouble you can get into, and how much fun you could have. It was an easy choice there for me, and I went with the band buddy life. I love the band. What,
I encourage all of you guys to develop that self-worth, to develop self-esteem, to learn about your culture, to make your family proud and make yourself proud.
you.